Hi, this is Mr. Dring from Fulford School. This video is for anyone who wants to boost their confidence debugging C# .NET console applications. It's been requested by my Year 12 students who have just started learning object-oriented programming in C#. So the idea is, in the link, there's a link in the description of this video to this GitHub project. If you've got Visual Studio installed, you can just open it straight away in Visual Studio. If you've got a Mac, then you'll probably need to check it out and then open it in MonoDevelop or whatever you're using. So there is a PowerPoint in here, as well as a C# .NET console application. The console application has got all the code that you need, and it's riddled with bugs. So we want to boost your confidence with debugging. We'll look at some debugging techniques within Visual Studio in a bit, but we'll start with this PowerPoint. So the PowerPoint has a class diagram. You've been given some broken code that implements a chocolate bar class. The chocolate bar has 3 attributes, so variables inside your class that we need to remember for each instance of that class. We want to know the name of each chocolate bar, like a boost, the brand, like Cadbury, and the number of calories. There are 3 different constructors, so it's possible to make a chocolate bar without knowing any of the attributes. It's possible to make a new instance of the chocolate bar class just by saying this is a Twix or this is a Bounty. And it's possible to call the constructor knowing all of the different attributes and passing those values in as parameters. There are 2 methods, so we should be able to eat a chocolate bar, and I've never managed to do this because I'm addicted to eating them, but theoretically it's possible to give a chocolate bar away. And you have 2 files. Chocolate bar is the one that you need to debug. Program is the one that should stay the same, so don't change program at all. When you run program, you should have this output. So when we call the constructor, it should make 2 new chocolate bars. When we try and eat the boost, it should say, yum, you just ate a Cadbury boost. When we try and give away the Twix, it should say, you just donated 286 calories of Mars goodness in Twix form to Mr. Welsh. Then if we make a chocolate bar with the empty constructor, the default constructor, it should still think that the brand is mystery and the chocolate bar name is chocolate bar. Okay, so let's have a look in Visual Studio. When you try and run it, you'll get all sorts of errors on here. So never press yes, that will try and load an old version of the compiled program. Do look at the errors list, and you can double click on those errors and it'll take you to the place where Visual Studio thinks the error is. It's not always exactly where the error is, but it's usually pretty good, and it tells you it's on that line or above somewhere. And this first error message is quite helpful. It says semicolon expected. So that's fixed that one. The next one looks like it's the same, but it has already got a semicolon on the end. It's probably something to do with the quotation marks. So you just work through this. I don't think there's any runtime errors in here, but there are syntax errors and logic errors. The syntax errors are the easiest to find because Visual Studio has detected them and told you where they are. The logic errors means that there's something wrong with the logic of the code. It doesn't do what it should do. It does what we've told it to do, and I've told it deliberately to do the wrong thing. So what do you need to do? You need to fix chocolatebar.cs without changing program.cs, and then you need to share that working version of chocolatebar.cs, and we'll discuss the errors that you've been able to find and the techniques that you've used to be able to find them when I see you next time. Okay, all the best. Bye-bye.